Welcome back to Montrose, Virginia for the final round of the Lake Marshall Open. I'm Ian Anderson, again joined by Connor O'Reilly.
It's been an awesome weekend, you guys. It's been a pleasure to be here on the mic with Ian and really enjoying watching some golf on this beautiful and historic property we have here in Virginia.
It is truly incredible. I guess the property's been in the family since the 1660s.
Yeah,
Gary Hutt and his family.
Good 100 years before the United States was even a thing, you guys. So this place has some history, and they've shaped it to create some high-level disc golf.
It all kind of goes back to, I guess, a funny story of Zach Milton being really nice to the owner's wife and the guy getting hooked on disc golf.
It doesn't surprise me. Zach's one of those gems that you just love playing with and you love being around. He makes everyone a little happier around him, I feel like.
That he does. We got some gems on your league card here. Chris Dickerson, Luke Samson, Blake Poland, and Evan Smith will be tackling this amazing track.
Yeah, sweet lead card. We saw Chris yesterday come into fruition and really scorch the course, and we know he's a champion, so these guys chasing him down have got some work to do. Here we are, hole 1, 640 feet. Y'all know the drill. Cross the water. You can get up on top of this hill. It's going to make this approach a lot easier. We've got a steep right to left slope by the basket that the camera doesn't exactly show on this flyover. You're really going to have to account for that as you're coming into the basket as well.
Yeah, and there is that OB down there as well, if you get a nasty roll away.
Yeah, if you go far enough left, there is OB. I didn't even really necessarily know about it, but that's probably a good thing. I
was editing the FPO this morning and saw Sarah Hokum unfortunately roll down into that OB.
Must be about 70 feet at least to them.
Yeah, it was brutal. Dickerson with a tee and a 2-stroke lead.
Chris has shown all weekend that he can put it in those low to mid 70s as well as temper down and throw that 59 mile per hour. Very accurate either way.
I love how he kind of just dials the run up and down.
Yeah, he absolutely does. He's always got a good pace to his run up, but you can really tell the speed changes a little bit.
Got Blake Poland. We saw him play yesterday. Really solid game, Connor.
Yeah, Blake, we kind of watched Luke and Chris battle all day yesterday and then didn't really realize until the final stretch there that Blake was right there in the thick of things and definitely putting himself in the situation to have a possibility at being the champion here today.
Luke Samson in the mix as well, sitting at a tie for second place.
Yeah, Luke had that unfortunate triple bogey yesterday, but he bounced back strong after that, so I'm interested to see how his mind's feeling today and how he's going to attack the course.
Nice looking drive on one.
Oh, he jumps off of Chris's disc right there. That's pretty cool.
It's an advanced maneuver, Connor. Evan Smith. Fantastic player. Saw him bubble up at Mid-America Open, along with yourself there.
Yeah, Evan's had a number of good showings this year where he's put himself in those lead card situations. And, yeah, he's due to get a win at some point, you feel like, and maybe be touring full-time next year, hopefully.
Nice. Poland throwing 2.
Looks a little inside here, but he's playing the high side of that slope. It's checking up real nicely. Doesn't skip at all.
In the circle, Smith next.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Evan play much, he's got just a really well-rounded game. He's got a very smooth forehand. It looks like he's not even throwing it, and it just comes out zooming, and then clean backhand player. Really solid around the greens, too.
In business there. Dickerson.
We know all about this guy, one of the most consistent players our game has ever seen, and a tried and true champion, so he's going to be hard to beat for these up-and-comers.
Luke. Everybody in the circle looking to join the gang here. Don't know that has it there.
Luke just saws it off with his berg there, and yeah, he's going to have a decision to make here.
What do you do here? Scary green, OB long. It's still early, so it's not like he has to run it. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. You know, a lot of the young guns are real hungry and send it out on pretty much every look they get. But Luke shows some maturity there, and we'll see if it pays off in the long run playing chess with a guy like Dickerson.
Smith with a nice putt.
Yeah, that's a bit of a death putt right there. You missed that one. The comebacker is going to be long, and Evan just showed he's got nerve of steel and got trust in his stroke.
The putt is there again today for Poland. Nice work. Couple tap-ins here. Dickerson for birdie. Will maintain that 2-stroke lead. 3 over Samson now.
The change on those prodigy baskets are heavy, and those little uphill tap-ins can be kind of scary. Sometimes you got to make sure you watch them.
And there's Luke dropping in the smart par. Evan. Nice birdie make to open the day.
Yeah, nice compact stroke. Just nothing wasted with Evan's game, really.
Going right at it. That's the play on 2 here as well.
Yeah, 2 is going to be your first technical look on the course. It's one of the tightest, if not the tightest gaps we see. 265 feet, plays uphill, probably effectively around a 300-foot power range. A lot of players are going to go with a mid-range shot, or maybe a putter if you can give it the height. And yeah, really just looking to throw pretty dead straight. A little bit of drift to the right is workable here.
Chris with the box.
You've seen Chris kind of leak it left all 3 rounds, I feel like, here. But honestly, he's hitting the initial gap and giving himself a chance every time.
Yeah, somewhere around the circle. Poland. Ooh, misfire.
Yeah, timing was a little early on that one, but he gets very fortunate and still going to have a chance.
Smith.
Not often do you see this gap missed and a disc get all the way up into circle 2 even. But
Smith looked like a better line and a worse result.
yeah, still missed his line by a touch, but he did get through that initial portion of the gap, but just leaks off left.
Here's a cax out of Samson.
Luke has been throwing this disc really well all weekend, and every time he's got a straight shot around 300 to 350, he's really putting that thing close.
I get to watch that disc fly in all my morning rounds. My buddy Zach loves that thing.
Heck yeah.
That's a nice bid there, but not to be. He'll have a comeback par look. Poland looking at birdie.
Just off the top there, it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, he gave it a good bid. At least had the want on it.
Dickerson for a 3-stroke lead.
Chris hearts that one. That's high and center chains, and we saw a lot of that yesterday. He starts 2 for 2, extending his lead.
Looking like Sunday Chris early.
Oh, yeah.
Nice comeback there from Smith. Saves the 3.
Here we got Luke.
Behind a tree.
Taking his time, making sure every stroke counts today. Chasing a guy that's like Chris Dickerson, you can't have any little slip-ups.
He doesn't leave many doors or windows open.
No, especially if he's going to start off like this.
Right. This birdie make. 3-stroke lead as he heads to 3. This one on the heart.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times when he's hitting his putts well, it's kind of in that upper third of the basket right on the pole.
Yep. Looking at hole 3, Connor.
Hole 3 is a fun tee shot. The wind was a little less today than it had been in previous days, so you can get a little more aggressive here, I feel like. You've got an out-of-bounds line off to the right by that road, as well as pretty high on the hill to the left. You got a pretty good elevation drop off the tee into this valley, and then you shoot back up through this little gap. You want to play most players to the right side of this little gap in the fence, and it's going to be a deceiving upshot. The basket's about 60 feet back in there with a couple trees in the way, and I don't know, just the uphill nature of it makes it play a little longer, and the disc choice can kind of be one up or one down from what you normally think.
Dickerson. 2 down through 2.
Chris has been playing this one pretty conservative stability-wise, just hitting something flat that he knows is going to finish, not really trying to work it to the right and then back to the left, knowing that with the downhill, the distance is going to come.
Yeah, I think he's still, 275 to the pin from there?
Yeah, at the most.
That's all he needs there. Samson. This one got blasted OB yesterday. Here's the correction.
Yeah, you could see him lining up a lot of hyzer on that right there. And
the penalty is the hill.
Yeah, and that's kind of the danger of trying to throw a stretchier disc like Luke's trying to do there and get the most out of it. You kind of have to play a little more guesswork at the angle.
Poland. Getting some nice turn on this.
Yeah, nice smooth release. Didn't try to throw too hard right there. Just made sure to hit his angle and let the disc carry down.
And now Smith.
Ooh, a little early out of Evan, and that's going to be pretty high up on the hill.
Yeah.
Like Ian said, these guys have to deal with a little bit of side slope footing, but it does put them on more of a level with the basket, making their distance play a little more true to what they're used to throwing.
What's the slope doing
Discount.
to your throw math, Connor?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what maybe you take a little bit out of the power of your legs on a slope like that, but I think you pretty much can throw about as much as normal.
Okay. Poland into the pin.
Nice and high here. That's the key on this approach, and he pins it.
What a time. Samson back on the hill. Just 311.
311. I'm guessing he might be going with his Tour Series Reco X there, and just leaves a little bit of meat catching that foliage. He's got a long putt that's pretty runnable. Let's see if he decides to give it a bid.
Here's Chris's second into the green.
That looks pretty textbook. Yeah, he slides up there.
Wow.
Park job, and Chris is dialed in, you guys.
That's a turkey to start his day.
Yeah.
Smith from circle 2.
Gonna need a little Anheuser on this one, and he knows it out of the hand. That was, most players would need some Anheuser, and he puts just a touch of it, but he had enough spin to just keep that thing really straight. That was a great putt. Okay, and Luke is inside the circle. I didn't quite realize.
No, just a pace outside, actually.
There we go. There you go. Right on the stripe. Those are the kind of putts that'll help get your round going and build that confidence.
Mm-hmm. Poland coming back for birdie. Fantastic approach. Looking at a start frame here on hole 3.
Yeah, and while Chris is 3 through 3, Blake and Luke are still 2 through 3, and right there, not losing too much to him.
Great point. Yeah, the card playing very well. Just 3 pars out there through 3 holes.
Another look at Blake's form right there. Some beautiful B-cam going on this weekend, y'all.
I love it. And we making moves outside the chase card? Not really. A quick break. Back in just a few.
There's a lot of different facets to being a professional disc golfer. It's not just going out there Friday through Sunday and playing, majors and DGPT events. It's social media, going to signings, doing clinics, doing YouTube channels. So there's so many different facets to being Ricky Wysocki than there used to be.
Back to the action, Connor. Looking at hole 4.
Hole 4 is just one of the most picturesque fairways we're going to see on the course. Classic little drop-down shot. Kind of flattens out once you get halfway through. Got this casual creek with some running water on the right side. Macy Vela Diaz, if you didn't see, got a sweet ace on this one in round 2. And yeah, I think there's a $1,500 ace pot that if any of the MPO players can hit on this one, hole 5 or hole 13, they'll split some money with Macy. If not, she's taking it all. So we'll see if these guys can give it a chance.
Dickerson.
This looks great out of Chris. Driven. He's been playing it kind of, just a little too low, I guess, with the nose there, and flips over on him.
Samson. Somebody messaged me that they got the ace pot too. I can't remember who it was.
Okay.
Apologies.
I didn't see that. Luke plays it a little more stable than Chris. Similar nose angle, but he's going to get a little more progress not getting caught up in that ditch there.
Here's Blake. Stabling a little early, but still looks nice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he landed far enough up there to where that skip's going to be pretty dry and pretty straight, so rewarded with a good birdie look there.
Smith.
I believe throwing that butter putter from Popcorn Disc there, and he's usually pretty money with that thing.
Nice. That kick, not nice. He's off the fairway left.
Oh, he's just a little high on this one. This knocking up and roll is going to help, though. He's got a 36-footer or so, and Evan's a really good putter.
Dickerson from 72.
Standing in that casual water, he says, I'm not taking my lie back. I want this one.
That's going to be his first par of the day, it looks like. Here's Smith to save his.
Okay, a little deeper than I thought for Evan here. Oh, just off the top. He elected to take that relief, so I guess he was a little closer.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
But he wanted those dry feet for the rest of the round.
I feel that. Samson.
Samson with the first window of opportunity. He puts it high, catches right side chains, able to grab a stroke back on Chris and get it tied up to where it started at.
A turkey of his own there. 3 in a row.
You can see that determined look on Luke's face. You know, he's not smiling as much as you normally see him today. You can tell he's got that final round vibe going. I like it.
Business Luke.
Yeah.
There's Poland. That's a 3 for 4 start for Blake.
Yeah, Blake is just, I don't want to say sneaky because he's just getting it done, but he's just high in the back and just right there matching everybody.
He's making you pay attention to him.
Yeah, he is. Good on you,
Smith.
Blake.
This one for the bogey save. That's a good putt there out of Evan, but that's a bogey on a birdie hole, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely. It's a little bit of extra salt there in the wound because even a par kind of hurts on this one. So.
Yeah. There's a par out of Dickerson, the lead down to 2. Blake and Luke hot on the heels.
It's one of those holes that feels really easy on paper when you look at it with the guys of the top level professional skill set, but I think when you put that added pressure of feeling like it's a must get, it gets just that little notch harder.
Definitely fair.
Great stick out of Luke there, and here we are on hole 5, one of our most picturesque holes that we see on the course. Also a hole that's just fun for anybody to throw. 285 feet. We've got an OB line out on the right that doesn't really come into play the way the gap shapes. This OB culvert, though, is going to be the main thing to deal with. A lot of right-hand players taking a forehand. The backhand is there, but you got to play it a little more speedy and direct with the crossbar branch hanging out there that you can see.
Luke with the tee. 2 off the lead.
Going with the yarn here, and that's going to need to jump off the rocks, and not quite. Just a little too low there from Luke. But should be a makeable putt, and he's made a couple long ones so far, so let's see if he can keep his momentum going and stop the bleeding.
Looking dialed. Poland. Oh.
Thought it beat that gap, but takes a little double tree kick and should have a pretty simple up and down for par, but
Inbounds at least.
Yeah.
We have seen those kick OB. Dickerson.
Chris played forehand day 1, switched to backhand the second 2 days. This one's getting beat down like Luke's.
Ooh.
And wow, the window of opportunity was open, and he just closed it on his foot a little bit.
Smith.
This one tests that high crossbar I mentioned for the backhand,
Wow.
and that little bit of grab from the leaves slowed it up as much as it needed because that thing was going to be OB otherwise.
Here's Blake hoping for the up and down par.
It's a tougher spot than I thought. He has to throw a little forehand anhyzer and circled edge putt. Let's see if he can stay solid on the green.
Dickerson, a long look at par.
Dueling putts from Dickerson and Samson.
Ooh. Oh, bit of a nasty
no.
roll, too. Some meat on that bone.
Almost got the out of bounds. Extra little roller coaster of emotions for Dickerson to deal with there.
And now Samson can grab a stroke with a make.
Gets it high, sinks it in there. That signature Reco X showing its nice overstable finish on it.
Stock
Great
that
putt.
in, Luke.
Little swag walk from Luke. I like it.
That was a big make, Connor.
That's a huge make right there. He's got a lot of pop coming out of his putt today, and you can just see Luke means business, and he's not backing down from a champion like Chris. He's here to fight, and he's going to fight till the end.
A big momentum putt, too, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. To feel like you just shut the door on yourself, and then Chris to just follow you and do the same thing, and then for you to be able to step up and man up in that situation was huge.
Smith. That's a good erasure of that bogey on the last.
Such a clean spin on that putt. There was no question that he was making that one.
Driven. And Blake. We've seen him make a lot of good putts. This one for the 3.
Not a gimme. There is OB long. If you really miss terrible, it could come into play, but I don't see that coming the way Blake's been putting. to the lead card. One of his first major events he's played, and ooh, just makes it happen. Way to be, Blake.
That's how you know he's a good guy.
Yeah, no doubt. I talked to him after the round a little bit, and he said he'd been driving for UPS for a while and working 60-hour weeks, so he couldn't really practice, was just showing up playing some tournaments, but
No
he
kidding.
recently switched jobs and has been able to practice the last 6 months, he said, and clearly it's showing dividends because he's out here competing with some of the best.
Agree. That is a good bogey make there out of Dickerson after the little kick away and roll.
Yeah, it was long enough to where it really could have got nasty there and almost could have tied things up with Blake and Samson, but they're only one back now. A little chink in the armor for our leader and hand in front of the face for Blake. Cash that thing.
Ooh, friendly catch by the Prodigy basket right there.
Yeah, he's a little bit left to bet on that one, but he's happy for that catch.
One of these signature holes out here, Connor.
Yeah, this one we've seen play really tough. It's been one of the harder third of the course for the entire tournament. About 425 to clear the water straight, a little further if you go to the right. Getting up into this tree line's maybe a low 500s play. Not a lot of players will get there. The second shot, though, is really tricky to get up on top of this hill. Cuts your distance off a bunch. But if you can do so and have a look and visual line at the basket, it's very helpful and makes this birdie very attainable. However, getting there has been proven to be very difficult so far.
We'll see what they got. What was the wind out there today?
The wind, we had the same wind direction all 3 days. Today was the lowest wind we'd seen, but all the days here it was tailwind, maybe slightly off your right shoulder at times. Though today us actually kind of might have been slightly off the left where those flags are up there, but yeah, we had a tailwind for the most part every time here, which is great for this hole. A headwind would have really made this one play even harder than it did.
Nice pull from Smith. Here is Samson going to that Wraith.
Yeah, Luke, after he had that one flip early in the tournament, or in round two, you can tell every time he's throwing that Wraith, he's making sure lean forward a little bit with that body and keep that hyzer angle a little cleaner.
Poland. Nice swing here. 65.
Yeah, it's a pretty stock speed we've been seeing out of Blake all weekend, and that one just has enough to clear. Wow, looked like it had a little more juice than that, but he needed to break the angle a little more, I guess.
Yep. Dickerson has been absolutely destroying this drive, Connor.
Yeah, he's been hitting this one mid-70s and gets a little flex on this. This is going to be high left, and it's a good spot to be because he's going to open that second shot up and be able to look kind of straight down that gap, whereas a lot of players are kind of having to play through those three big trees on the right of the gap there.
Gotcha. Poland throwing two.
I wish I would have vetted this hole a little better and tried to play myself left rather than getting to those trees and kind of having to play through them, because now this gap that Luke and Chris are looking through is a lot easier to manage than playing the longer shot to the right there.
Less extreme angle as well, huh?
Yep, for sure.
Samson, that's a nice forehand up the hill.
That's a great place to be. Anything that makes progress up that hill and stays in bounds is going to be a great chance at birdie.
Man, that man throws big both sides.
He does, yeah. Luke's got those long levers. Used to be a baseball player, so he's got a natural forehand, and yeah, just uses that length to his advantage.
Oh, and Dickerson, perfect spot, center
Yeah,
cut.
that's
just what you need. Smith, ooh, little sod maybe.
middle inside. We'll see where he is in that bunker of trees. Oh, it flops back to the back there. This is gonna be. This will be a miracle shot if he can get even circle one's edge.
Yeah, you can see just 276, but elevation,
276,
angle.
Playing about 410 power wise, and he's going big flex with a driver, looks like, and that looks so well done.
Bid on that. Wow.
Even there, you could tell he got a hold of that, and he's still got maybe a jump putt left.
I think he's circle two, I want to say. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Really impressive. Poland.
Blake's got a little more of the tree in his backswing, making this one a bit harder.
Oh, no. That's wide.
And that's going to kick down into the left. There is an OB line over there. It looks like he didn't quite reach it.
I think he did, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. Unfortunately, caught a pretty nasty kick over there. He's going to grab his meter in. This is like a natural OB and actual OB over here.
Yeah,
this is punitive.
This is almost a stroke and a half right here, and He's going to have to get creative. Looks like he does have a pretty fortunate gap through those holly bushes, though. Catches a vine, though, coming out. Oh, and that had a weird reaction. Yeah, that was very unfortunate for Blake.
It's in the middle.
Yeah, like you said, he got double punished there pretty much.
Yeah.
Luke having to go a little short swing with the stuff on his right there, but he jumps up to a range that he's been hitting all day, so let's see if he can keep putting strong.
And per the usual, Dickerson, just a casual approach for birdie on this hole.
Yeah, he put himself in a weird spot behind that tree where he had to kind of play that high hyzer, or at least chose to, instead of the kind of forehand when it's a lot more guarded, but he plays that extremely well.
Top 4 hardest hole in the course, and he's got
Chris,
it on lock.
Yeah, he made that hole look way easier than it was. He definitely helped the whole stats because the rest of the field was not.
There's an approach out of Poland, not too bad. Here's a long look at birdie for Smith, 58 feet.
Wow, such a clean release out of Evan. You see no wobble, nice and flat. He knew it out of the hand. He's really dialed in.
Think about the putting feet we've seen from him already. On 1, on 3,
Yeah, Evans, he's
on 5,
like I said,
on 6.
He's got a good all-around game, but he definitely shines on the putting green a bit.
Oh, Luke.
1 foot inside that circle there and doesn't quite connect for Samson. First time his putters hit the ground when he's chosen to run the putt so far.
Poland comes back for the 5, I want to say.
Yeah, you see a lot of pars from the players who are playing this hole well.
excuse me.
You're going to take... Oh, sorry. Yeah, we forgot about that out of bounds.
The out of
stroke.
bounds, yep. There you go.
Easy to forget about the bad, you guys. You know, keep doing that good stuff.
I'm
Blake.
trying. There's Dickerson, drops in the birdie, the lead. It's back to 2.
Back to 2. Blake's kind of dropped off, so now you got Luke and Chris really up there. Everyone else is going to have to make some big pushes to get back in that conversation. Evan's showing some strength. If he can give himself opportunities, he's going to keep making those putts and see how it goes here.
Here are your scores through 6.
Yeah, Evan's 5 down through 6 right now.
Oh
You got
my.
Aderhold also at 5 down through 6, climbing up into that top 10, and Charles Bearhorst sneaking in there as well.
On to this tough hole 7.
Yeah, hole 7. Also, the locals know it as hole 1 for this course in the normal layout. You got to throw a really straight shot that penetrates about 400 plus to clear these 2 ditches you just flew over. Being up on this flat here is really where you want to be. Then you got 2 out of bounds ditches here to clear that if you find yourself in are really troublesome and almost double punishing as well. Really good shots will get up right into this edge of this tree line to the left or stay in the gap to the right here. The best shots will creep up maybe to circle 1's edge, maybe 50 feet for a long eagle look with a runaway green that kind of makes you make a decision.
Evan Smith with a tee after that fantastic make on the last. A little low.
Yeah, definitely low, but he places a stable enough disc where it doesn't burn over, and he clears that ditch. He's going to have a bit of a upslope in his run-up, but I think birdie should be pretty manageable from there.
This went terribly for Chris yesterday. Oh, no.
That's really bad.
Again.
Yeah, it looks like he played that fairway, and it just kept holding on him, and Chris is going to be lucky to take a par from there.
Samson, door slightly ajar. Oh, he's walking through.
Oh, he slips past that left side there, the gap, and
That's
he
big.
almost pushes the front side or the downside of that hill there, and he's going to have a tackable hyzer for a very easy birdie, possibly an eagle, but honestly, after where Chris went, I'm sure Luke's just looking to play a pretty safe fairway driver and get up there for his birdie.
That's about as far as you want to throw it.
Absolutely. You don't want to go farther than Luke did, because if so, you're on that downslope, and now your footing gets really tricky.
Here's tricky footing for Dickerson throwing 2. That's a really nice out, though.
Wow, okay, so he was able to push forward to kind of the regular landing zone from where he was, and very fortunate for Chris to be able to still maybe have a miracle birdie on hand and a simple-ish par for a player of his caliber.
There was Poland laying up to about where Samson's drive was. Smith, he's
Evan
going
puts
across.
a move on this, and that OB line is very tastefully placed by the course designer in my mind, because really you
It's
got to
there.
stretch it to try to push that eagle or the aggressive birdie, and that OB line comes up quick.
Dickerson throwing 3. He's going to have a long look at birdie if he
Chris
wants
hits
it.
that one nice and hard, and Yeah, sketchy green there, so we'll see whether Chris chooses to lay this up or kind of play some chess back at Luke.
Also throwing 3 is Poland. This is 2 straight.
Wow, very uncharacteristic. We haven't seen Blake miss too many that hard, and he just needed to put a little more height on that one.
This is Samson's drive.
That's a great spot to be in. Looks like he's probably pulling a stall out here and just putting a hyzer on it. Yeah, he's not looking to bite up there to the green. He just wants to get himself within that 180-foot range where he can throw that price standstill forehand Berg up to the basket.
And Smith through OB.
A nice smooth swing there for Evan. Just really pretty to watch.
Should drop in from there. Same story out of Poland. Looking for the up and down bogey.
Bit inside. Should skip straight, though. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
money. Good pace on it.
But that double on the bogey really hurt Poland's chances.
Yeah, he looked unflappable for a little bit for a newcomer, and Luke fluffs this one a little bit, but he throws a good disc choice and not more than a 16-footer coming back.
And Dickerson needs to make this to maintain 2 strokes. Samson, so close.
Chris kind of going to put that little patented floaty bit on it that he likes to do.
Off
And yeah,
the
that's
cage.
Real close there from Chris, but like I said, that green's a bit scary. If you miss the putt, it's easy to have circle's edge or even circle 2 putt come back.
Luke closes the gap.
There you go, Luke. Grab that stroke. He threw a good drive there, was able to just lay up, make sure that he took a birdie versus trying to get too aggressive there and having it bite him.
And that drive was a stroke swinger.
It absolutely was. And there's been a couple decisions so far I've seen Luke make on the front 9 that have shown some real maturity in his game. And, he's not just throwing the disc well anymore. He's starting to make those decisions, and I like to see that.
He's golfing out here. Throwing a great golf shot here on 7. Just blasting this drive. And perfectly
Is that
down
that
the middle.
wraith again
It
that he's
is,
moved?
yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Hole 8. What a par 3 this is. Luke parked it yesterday.
Yeah, this one's extremely beautiful, fun to throw, as well as one of the most challenging birdies to get on the course. Throw a dead straight shot, make sure to get that nose down the hill, and then fade. There's one tree you can kind of use as your aim point down in the fairway about 60 feet from the basket that you want to break just inside of.
Samson with the box, off the lead by 1.
Going back to that seasoned stall that he can just rip hard and flat. This one looks like it might be a touch inside. Oh, but once again, he just gets under that bottom side of those bushes
at
and just
this.
takes an amazing skip. This hill's downhill enough where if you hit anywhere past that last line of bushes on the left, you're going to skip to at least circle's edge, and Luke's giving himself another opportunity here.
Oh, the little high and a little tight out of Smith, and he's paying the price. Dickerson next.
Chris looks like he might be playing that mid-range again, and
that's tight as well.
too much hyzer, thinking the slow disc is going to flip up, but he doesn't quite get the nose down on it.
That's nasty over there. He's going to
Yeah.
have to get creative.
He's most likely going to have some kind of forehand roller or maybe a super steep. Oh,
Ooh,
no, Blake
big.
through that first spot. That's yeah, early stuff on this hole is really tough. A regular bogey is going to be a solid score from here.
Yeah, like 415 to the pin.
Yeah, I feel like double bogey is possible, very possible from there.
That's a
But,
great out.
wow, he's got a repertoire of skills and threw a nice tomahawk there.
He did. Here's where Smith ended up. Not an easy up and down either.
Nice touchy straight shot. Evan has shown that he's very good at these. And yeah, just great body control out of Evan. And that
hit the B button.
hit some kind of root and just popped backwards or something. That
All the
tripped my
backspin
brain
right
for a
there. I
second.
did. It got me too, man. It
I was
got me too.
confused.
Here's Dickerson going over the top here, and he's got a chance to save 3, Connor.
Chris is one of those guys, when he gets in a spot, he looks at every single possible gap, up, down, left, right, backwards, and he always seems to find something that you don't think is there. And wow,
come on. You are not saving 3 from where that drive ended up.
almost never.
Often.
Keeping the pressure on Samson, putting
Ooh.
a little thought in his brain as he has this stroke to possibly tie it up here.
Back over to Poland for his approach. That's going to be a putt for 4.
Okay, Luke sneaked up there pretty good into about a 25-footer. But like I said, one of those putts that, he thought he might be getting 2 strokes. Now he's only possibly getting 1. Going back for the chalk. Make sure you take your time, Luke.
To go back to back on this hole. Got it yesterday, too. Unprecedented, I would imagine.
Top level birdie. He jams that one in high, but shows the commitment. Breath of fresh air for Luke as he ties it up with Chris at the top, and these other guys are kind of falling back, so right now it's looking like a 2-horse race.
Yeah, it's looking like Poland here. This bogey make will drop him back into Smith territory. That's a good make, though.
Yeah, it was a good bogey from where he was. He threw a really good tomahawk shot to even have a chance at that.
Smith almost threw it in for 2. Stopped it on a dime, 2 feet past the pin, and he drops in the 3. Dickerson.
Look at Chris's wounded duck. That's going to find the heart of the chains. Leaves falling in the background. We got the beautiful fall time weather here, you guys. It's been a real treat all weekend. I can't say enough about this property.
It is unbelievably gorgeous.
It is.
Hole 9.
We have our last hole of the front 9, obviously. Uphill, very much so. This white tree in the sunlight there is about 300 from the basket. You want to get just past that. Whether you're left, right, doesn't really matter. It's going to give you a chance to see a little bit of the basket. The approaches want to kind of test this tree on the left there in the sun as well and break just inside of that. Circle's Edge is a spot that you see most of the good upshots come up here. Just the way you're throwing up, it just kind of fades a little more sideways than normal.
Samson.
Luke plays this one pretty stock, nice and low, but that's a very safe shot. And with his ability to throw the forehand, he's going to have a great opportunity from there.
Smith narrowly missing that tree, catching the next one, but hey, that's
throwing that salt from Clash Discs, and great tree action there. He's going to be in the prime time position.
nice. Dickerson. I love these full power shots under 300 feet or at 300 feet. It's so uphill.
This one, most players are busting out one of their kind of seasoned distance drivers and just ripping this one flat and high. Blake busting out the forehand here, showing that when the gap gets tight enough, sometimes he likes to just face it up and has both the skills and has the luxury to be able to do something like that.
One more forehand and he's got a look. Not bad.
Yeah, that's a solid spot to get to from where he was at. And like I said, the way this one plays uphill on that second shot, it's really hard to penetrate the disc forward enough. A lot of shots fade out at Circle's Edge.
Samson. You favor the forehand or a backhand on an uphill lie like that?
I think the forehand's easier a lot of times. You just keep your eyes on it, and you don't need as much transfer from your lower body for the forehand. You can kind of isolate the upper body a lot easier. So I think the forehand can be very advantageous for some of these uphill run-ups, you guys.
Dickerson agrees. Goes to it as well. A slight overturn, though, I believe.
Yeah, plays a pretty overstable disc to catch back on edge there, but he's going to catch an unfortunate little trickle down, and he's got a little thorny 40-footer to look at.
Yeah, from the edge of one circle to the next. Smith.
Backhand with that putter out of Evan. A little much on the turn, but that's a great spot to be. Like I said, very, very common to find your disc there, and you pretty much did your job at that point.
Dickerson outside Samson, putting a birdie.
And seeing how small Chris looks down there just shows you how much the slope kind of deceives you there. It's pretty steep. So these putts you're going to see from these other guys are definitely at risk of rolling away pretty good if they miss it.
Let's see if Pullen can get off that bogey train. Not with that putt.
Yeah, he turns away right out of his hand. He does not like that one.
Samson for a birdie and a one-stroke lead.
Another big putt for Luke here. The door has been left open by Chris. Luke. Oh,
Luke. That's
Luke
it.
just holds on to that one a little soft, doesn't pop it out of his hand. And Luke shows his first signs of kind of feeling a little bit of nerves. He's been pretty cool, calm, and collected all day.
Yep. Cool, calm, and collected as Evan Smith buries another one.
Yeah, if Evan Didn't have that little flop on hole 4. He would have a really clean front 9 going, and he's putting the disc very well.
Poland. That's a good make on his comeback par. Samson should do the same here. Stay tied with Dickerson with 9 to play.
Luke making sure he does his routine. He's a big chalk guy like we mentioned last round, and he's going to make sure to keep those hands nice and dry.
Oh, my goodness, Connor.
Picks the disc up, puts it through his legs, is kind of shake the nerves off knowing that he got away with one there.
That one skeetered over the rim.
Might have let his focus lapse for a moment, but hopefully he uses a moment like that to kind of buckle it down and keep fighting.
No harm, no foul.
Yep.
Nice pull from Evan Smith.
Yeah, Evan's got a very textbook game. You can tell he has studied a lot, especially as he was formulating his style of play.
Your scores. We're knotted up. We got 9 to go, Connor.
This has been quite a show. Really exciting to watch a young gun like Luke battling right here with Chris. Chris came out hot, slowed down a little bit there in the middle, but it's anyone's game and a lot can happen on this back 9.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in part 2 for the finish. It's going to be awesome.